My name's Dennis Everett, and I just wanted, what we're going to do today is just go over a little bit real quick. We got about 40 minutes or so to go over real quick on some aspects of the internet. Basically, we're going to do another seminar on social media, Twitter and Facebook, and more in specifics at a 1 o'clock seminar after lunch. But the main thing I want to go over today is just basically to go over some information to how you can get your websites where they come up a little bit better in the search engines. And not only that, just when somebody actually finds the website, what it conveys to them and the message that you're trying to sell them on the features and benefits and the services that you have, concerning your company. How many people in here do not have websites? Okay, most everybody has websites. How many people in here have somebody professionally, or an uncle or a cousin or a nephew that is in charge of the website and supposedly supposed to get it ranked up into the search engines, that type thing? Okay. And I like to run with a Q&A type seminar here because I don't know what level of the expertise you are on in particular. So if you have a question, feel free to ask, because there's probably most of the people in here may have the same question, and we'll digress and go off into a tangent, but most of the time it's helpful for most everybody in the room, so don't feel shy about asking a question or anything. Let's see. How do I change this page? Do what? The right arrow? All right. I didn't start this thing, so I don't know where we were. What we do and one of the reasons that we are, I guess, more well informed about getting websites on the internet, we have a lot of directories like WeFixWindshields.com, the vertical directories where it just has one set of keywords, one set of meta tags, one set of this, that, and the other, and it focuses on We Fix Windshields, or We Fix Dings, or We Detail Cars, or whatever the domains may be. And then you have a network, and it's incoming and reciprocal links help you, which is, we're going to go over some of this on your own websites on a more local basis. But Google and Bing and Yahoo and the search engines like to have reciprocal links. That tells their robots, which runs through the internet and indexes your website and everything, it tells them, well, if this got a lot of incoming links to this website, somebody likes it. And so it gives you credibility with your website, and so it inches up and comes up in the search engines better because of it. If you've got a website out there, there's some of our directories there, which I just mentioned 2 or 3 of them. But one thing about the internet, and we'll go over this a little bit more in more detail, but your website needs to be the centerpiece of your whole advertising campaign, because that is something that you can change your information on just like that. It's not like a phone book where you may buy the phone book and the ad 6 months before the book comes out, and then it comes out, things have changed. Well, it's out, things change, and you can't change the phone book. And then it's out 2 or 3 years later. Even in your phone books, you need to have your website address in that phone book. On all signage, on everything that you've got, you need to put your web address and use that as your central piece of information that you can control all the time and make those changes as need be. And the more times you make a change, that's one thing Google and them look for, is content and what it relates to and whether it's relevant. But if you have something sitting there for 2 or 3 years, even and nothing ever changes, they would just keep on going. Speaking of Google and them, you have to have that context changing. It keeps it fresh. And that's another reason that's going to be coming up in search engines. You can be number 1 2 or 3 months later, you won't be able to find yourself maybe because the content hadn't changed on that website, and it's just kind of dull and boring to Google. And it's the one thing about a website, and it's according to who you use as a hosting, but it's inexpensive. It's a lot less expensive than newspaper advertising, yellow pages, business cards, signage, but that's why you have to use that as your central focal point, because the rest of everything else here, the newspaper cards, that's where you need to have your domain name. How many people have business cards and the domain name is not on there? Your website address is not on your business card, or it's not on your vehicle, and you forget to put them in the yellow page ad. So you need to just and that's another thing that drives traffic to it. Everything that you're doing needs to be driving traffic to the website. Some other things that you can do to expand your business using your website and using the internet is using email effectively. How many people, when you do an invoice or somebody fills out a report, gets their email address, the customer's email address? And you can put that in a email list. And you don't want to beat them over the head with it, but Christmas time, send them a Merry Christmas, or Happy Birthday if you've got their birth date on the information. But you can use that email list and build on it, and it can be very successful. Somebody was telling me just last night about things were getting slow, and he took that email list and he told me that he picked this up from our seminar last year, that things got slow, so he started sending out emails and he got some calls. It's just, it's kind of like a response when, oh yeah, I need that ding fixed. Or I need to get this done. I need that windshield. I do have a windshield chip. And you can send out a little coupon or send out in your email saying, look, give us a call. I'm going to be if you work in a local area that involves another town that's 20 miles down the road, if you've got these emails and you can send them out, you may have customers in that town say, look, give me a call. It'll save me gas and I'll give you a 10% discount, or I'll give you a $10 discount. It will provoke some calls just by telling people I'm going to be in your area, and it will save you time and money also. So it'll make that trip more effective and more profitable for you. Anybody got any questions at this point that's popped up? Yes.
As far as the content needing to be changed and updated,
right.
Is that something that's recent? Over the last few years, has that changed as far as dramatic?
Well, I tell you, particularly in Google's case, they changed these algorithms. That's what they call their little requirements, and they add different weights to different things. Having the right keywords in the content. If you're selling windshields or if you're repairing windshields, you need to have windshield repair, and you don't need to beat it over the head, but 3 or 4 times on that page, you need to have windshield repair or dent repair or paintless dent removal, different keywords in that content. But it may have been over the last few years, but yeah, they start talking a whole lot more about changing that content and keeping it fresh to get you in Google's mind. That makes it more relevant for their consumer.
So you're saying keep those keywords, but switch it around?
Switch it around. Yeah, I'm telling you, just taking a paragraph and swapping so long as it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take the same words, just change it around a little bit. But when those robots come through and see it, at least it's going to be a change, because they cache those pages, and they'll see that page. They take a picture of it, so to speak. And you'll see when you go to Google, you'll see a lot of times cache, C-A-C-H-E, that's what that means. They've taken a picture of that website. And when you go to that website, that's what that means a lot of times. When you go to Google, you'll see that cache. That just means it may not be live. It may be a picture of what they saw last month. So, that's one of the things that Google does, yes. Now they come out every month, and now they've gotten to where they're calling it Panda and Penguin and all this other stuff when they do these adjustments, as they call it. They used to do it about every 6 months. Now they're doing it once or twice a month. Instead of they used to call it Penguin or Panda. Now they're just calling it Panda 24 and Panda. They're just adding numbers. It's really it's tough for anybody to stay up on the top of Google when you got a small website, because they also they want to look at the hits coming in, and they look at several other things too. But things that driving traffic to the site, like I was talking about with the phone book and getting more people to hit it, is going to help it. And those reciprocal names I mentioned earlier are a big thing, and y'all are. That's coming up. I'll get to that. Like I said, I'll digress. Now, advertise your name and not someone else's. Anybody know what I'm talking about? If you've got a website, and you should be able to use your own website or your email address, that's the same as your website. If it's abc.com, you should be able to have the email address john@abc.com. So when you put your email address, you're telling people the name of your business. It's not good to use, I know it's convenient, and it's supposedly free, but it's not good to use Yahoo and Gmail and Rocket Mail and all those other email services. and they're free. And the reason they give it to you free for a reason. You're advertising for them. Every time you tell somebody, I'm Joe at yahoo.com, don't you wish you had 5 billion people out there saying, I'm Joe at abc.com, and they was using your domain name to give your business that brand recognition? And that's what Gmail and Yahoo and all them are. Now, a lot of host companies may not want to give you an email address or tell you that you've got that capability, but if you've got your own domain name, you should be using your own email address. That when you tell somebody it's on your business card or it's on your website, it's just a lot more professional to have your domain name with your name in front of it. Because I always ask people, how much is Yahoo paying you a month? It's like my kids wear a t-shirt with one of the local stores on it. Take that thing off. I've got a Cybercom shirt you can wear. I mean, they pay $15, $20 for a shirt. I said, I got one free, girls. But Daddy, this is cool. But it just kills me to be advertising for somebody else. And that's very important, is to use a website that's got your name on it. And I developed the email list of your clients. We talked about that. Autoresponders is something else with an email. Yes?
Should you research your domain name and make sure that the email addresses are available before you set on one?
Well, if you have your domain name, it's like, say, cybercommarketing.com. You've got all these. You should have you got the capability of having unlimited email addresses.
Okay, because when you do a domain search, sometimes they'll say, well, the com is not available. You can have .net.
Exactly, and then your email address would have to be Sarah at abc.net.
But what I'm saying is, should you make your domain address if you haven't already? I mean, your domain name if you haven't already got it. Should you make your domain name .net?
It needs to be .com,
Okay.
and because and it's not like this anymore, but a lot of your old browsers, if you stuck in a name, it would automatically take you to .com. I mean, it's kind of like being on Broadway or off Broadway. Sometimes there's no choice, and .nets are okay, but you need .com if there's any way possible. And a lot of times you might could take the name of your business and put abcinc.com. You just change it just a tad. If somebody already has it and using it, there may be something that you can change, or you can put the name of your company and say if you're from Dallas or Boise or some other city, and you can't get your domain name, you can go abc.com Dallas. That's going to help, by the way, because if you've got in a domain name and a URL, it helps to have a keyword in the URL. I'll touch on that in a minute, but it helps to have that URL. Like, for instance, you can go to abc.com and you have another page that has to do with windshield repair. You need to name that directory, abc.com/windshield repair. And so when they're looking for it, that helps it come up in the search engine because it's got windshield repair in it on the end of that. So you don't have, your .com name does not have to have those keywords in it. It does help. But if you compartmentalize your domain or your website correctly, you don't want to have window tinting and dings and windshields and bumpers. You don't want to have all that stuff on one page. You'll just confuse the search engine. They don't know what to do with it all. So you need to have a page on windshield repair and have a page on bumper, have a page on each service or each feature that you offer, and name that directory bumper repair or name it windshield repair. The main keyword that they're going to be searching when they search for something. It doesn't cost you anything, so you might as well name it what you can to help you as much as it will.
How much should we expect to pay for email?
I don't know. I mean, what email from your domain name? Nothing. You shouldn't pay. You own the domain name,
Yeah, but
so the email comes along with it. If you're not getting email, you need to change host or either call them and say, look, I want my own email address. Well, we can't do that. You say, so long.
well, I mean,
Know.
like, if we use a service that does do that, how much should we expect? Say we want 5 for emails.
You can have,
Per email, right?
no, If you've got a domain name, you go back to the server and you can do anything you want to. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to show you something. You can go to the, this goes into the back of your website, which if you're on a web host, now it's not good to see those red things. My website's getting kind of hefty here. Now look, you've got email accounts right here, but this is the domain name zebrapower.com. Your email addresses are unlimited. You can set up Bob, Sally, sales, anything you want to at zebrapower.com. All I've got to do right here is set it right here, and I can go Tommy at zebrapower.com, put a password in here, put the password in here again, and now you've got an email address. It's that hard. Now you can change it again. Look, create account. This is not a valid email address. I don't know what I did wrong. Password. You did it right here. But anyway, it's,
Hey, Dennis,
yeah.
I just made one thing.
Oh, it did? I've already made it? Okay.
One thing I think, Dennis, is worthy of mentioning, a simple part of this, you gotta have access to your CPAM.
I know. Well, that's what I'm telling them. They're,
Okay, I mean, that's-
and their host, a lot of times host won't tell you you've got all this, should all this be available to you.
To get for CPAM,
And,
they'll give you a password and email, and most of it's pretty self-explanatory, it's not rocket science, get in there and go to the account.
But see, like these emails here, Dennis,
You set up folders if you want to.
Dennis and Lindsay and Mark, but you can do all these. You can have all, they don't cost you anything. You've got your domain name. It doesn't cost anything to get your email addresses. You can have as many as you want. On Cybercom Marketing, I've got 600 email addresses. And the way you do it is, let me back this up a second. Right here is redirects, forwarders. This is something else that you can have. Now you look at this. This just shows 10. I can go to 100 and pop in 100 there. I can go to 600 and it still shows them. The point being is, well, this is not Cybercom Marketing. This is, now see this redirect here on Zebra Power? When you have your domain name, you can do redirects. You can have one main email address and set a redirect on to info at, or you can put in your yellow page ad, yp at yourdomainname.com, and use that email address with just your yellow page book as tracking. And you can see the number of times YP at Zebra Power or whatever it is, your domain name comes in. You'll know that your yellow page ad's paying off or not if they're emailing you from the yellow page ad. A lot of times you got vendors or you got employees. That's what a lot of this is, Mike or Dennis or D or whatever. They're using they may have a Yahoo address, but if you want to get in touch with them, not have to remember their doggone email address, set them up a redirect here at Sam at yourdomainname.com, and basically all you've got to do is it's redirected to their website. But it doesn't cost anything to do that. But
I have a question about naming the page, if I'm writing that down here, because I want to name the page, because I am in the middle of building a site anyway. And so what I want to do is the name is like classicappreciation.com, so then if I have a list of detailing services, that should be classicappreciation.com/detailing services.
exact, or actually, or something even that would be better,
Simple.
something simple. That detailing services is fine.
So
But
then-
auto detailers, you can even put dashes. Auto detailers detailing. You get 2 or 3 keywords in that, what you name in that page. And if they can stick in auto detail, or they can stick in auto detailers, they can stick in detailers, or any combination thereof, and it's going to help it come up in the search engine better because that URL, that name is in that URL, which is just what you call the web address, basically.
Certainly. And so then I have that goes to detailing services. Then if you choose to say complete detail, that would be another one I can name.
Right.
As a complete detail or something like that, /complete detail /
Or it would be more of or packages or something of that nature. And they would know exactly too by looking at that URL what that page contains.
So bots all search that.
Right, it'll help. Autoresponders on your email is another thing that when you ever sent somebody an email and it came back, I'm out of the office till Thursday, or I'm doing this on Wednesday, and how do you send me this email if he's gone? Well, that's an autoresponder. You can set up an autoresponder to do anything you want to, but when somebody sends you an email, you can set up a little sales ad or a coupon or anything. It doesn't have to say I'm out of the office because of birthday or a holiday or something. Say, well, thanks for emailing us, and here's a coupon for $5, or if nothing else, just put your name, address, and phone number and contact information, and now you've put your name of your business in front of them one more time. again, you can ask your host or whoever about autoresponders, whoever's hosting your website or managing your website, I should say, that you can use these autoresponders. Also a signature. You see where people send you an email and all that information is down here at the bottom. It's automatic. They didn't type all that stuff in every time they send an email. You set it up as a signature and you can put your logo down there. You can put your name, address, phone number, and any other little messages that you want all on every one of your emails. Then you can even set up different emails with different signatures. If you want this signature to read to somebody else, you can set up 2 or 3 different emails with different sigs on it and use it as a free type of advertising, a flyer, so to speak. So then you're sending emails and they're seeing the name of your business at the bottom of the email, and when they send you an email, the autoresponder sends it back to them again saying, thanks, we'll contact you as soon as possible. Or whatever it is you want to put in that autoresponder. But that's 3 or 4 ways that you can, using email, will help you brand the name of your business, in your local areas. Any other questions before we get off that? Other ways of driving traffic to your site is using online directories. Online directories like WeFixWindshields.com, so something like we do, but that's an online directory. You can use other online directories. I always tell people if you belong to the chamber, they've got a website. And most of them, if you have got a page of links with their customers, and just make sure that your website is on their website, which is another link, which adds an incoming link back to your website, which helps you in the search engines. But everybody going to that Chamber of Commerce site sees the name of your business again and can click and go there. So it helps drive traffic to your site just by having your name on the Chamber of Commerce. If you belong to Rotary or the JCs or whatever like that, you can do the same thing. Rotaries have a lot of their websites now with their members' addresses and names, and a lot of them have their website there, and it'll be a hot link that you can click and go to your website. That drives traffic to it. Any place that you can get the name of your business and putting that website on there again is going to drive traffic to it and hopefully creates more customers. The thing about getting customers is that basically a business is born and prospers on repeat customers and referrals. But they can't talk about you if they don't know about you. They can't refer somebody if they don't know you exist. Don't forget on a website, they're not sticking in the name of your business. I mean, it happens sometimes, but if they know the name of your business, they're just going to pick up the phone and call you. So what you want to shoot for is somebody that puts in leather repair Boise or whatever they're looking for, and that's when your website comes up. They're not really, if they knew the name of the business, the website is still good for information. But the point being is using that website to get that first-time customer is what your goal is. That's how you get more repeat customers, and that's how somebody can tell somebody else about you. Promotions and coupons kind of speak for themselves. Everybody's seen those on websites. And if you continually change them, talking about that change of content, that keeps it fresh, helps that website come up. You don't want to have the same coupon that expired 6 months ago on your web page. That just doesn't show a lot of professionalism or attention to what you need to be doing. And if nothing else, if you're not going to change it, at least put on there a year, a no expired date or 12/31, a year down the road if you're not going to change it. But at least, I would go in there and change it at least once a month. That helps keep that content fresh. So any kind of promotions or coupons or anything going on special in your company can be put on that page or that type of thing, which helps in the content. Media integration basically is the same thing I've been talking about putting your website on everything. The Twitter and Facebook, and we're going to get more in detail in that in the 1 o'clock seminar and talk about that. But you can also incorporate your Twitter and your Facebook on your website. You can actually put your Twitter account on your website, and when you do a tweet, the tweet comes up on your website. Now, it's not going to get picked up by search engines because it's JavaScript, and Java basically is not going to be picked up by Google, which is another point I'm wanting to make about having these beautiful websites and all this flash and all the glamour. That doesn't help Google. Google don't know that exists. So if you're going to do that, do it on the back page, not on your front page. because that doesn't help. It's just a big blank space as far as Google or Yahoo or everybody else is concerned with the flash picking it up. One other point too is that one of the things that'll drive somebody off your website quicker than pneumonia or something is going to be music on your website. When you pull up, if anybody ever hit that music and you go to a website, blah, 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 blah. Think about it if you're in an office situation in a little cubicle and you're trying to take care of some personal business and find a website and some godforsaken music just starts playing off, bye-bye website.
Well, what about a video of like the owners of the business describing what they're doing?
No, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
It starts up right as you come on.
Well, if it's involuntary, that's not good. Or put it on the back page, because if you go to the website, it's just like music. It's going to be an interruption. It's going to be something they may not want as far as noise goes. Because basically, if they're not asking for noise, they could be in the bed sitting next to their wife, cruising the net. They don't want to get woke, don't want to wake her up.
Right.
Now, if you're going to put a YouTube video, well, that's great, but they can click on that and watch it if they need to, if they want to. As far as other linkage changes, I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce, but if you're in the dent business or a windshield business, you know somebody in the bumper business, you know somebody in the windshield business that's not a competitor that y'all probably see on the car lots every day. Get together with them and create your little network. Say, look, I'll put your link on my website. If you put your link on mine, y'all exchange. That drives traffic to everybody. There's no competition out there if they're fixing bumpers and you're fixing dings, or somebody's detailing cars or doing windshields or bumpers. As long as they're not competitors, exchange links that way. It helps both of your websites, plus it drives traffic to your website because you're getting people there that haven't been there before. So, and that's one way. And then local associations, whether it be for instance, the realtors have a realtor association. For instance, like NapDirt with the PDR guys, or there's 3 or 4 PDR associations out there, PDR nations. But if you're a member, they'll have the doggone website somewhere where they list their members and your phone number and make that website. Just make sure your website's there and it's live. It puts another incoming link back to your website. Plus, it's going to drive traffic there if somebody happens to see it. It could be a local business association. It could be a statewide. It could be nationwide. Whatever you belong to, find out if they list their members, and they should list their members' information there, and just make sure your website's on there and it's hot, and it's going back to your website. There's another way to create some traffic. Yeah.
What about establishing several smaller websites that are actually linked to yours? So, it's not, like ours is McDowell's Repair. It doesn't say dent or upholstery or whatnot.
Right. Well, that's
What
fine.
if we were to do an upholsteryrepair.com and it's basically a conduit to our website? Is that workable that way?
It is marketable that way a little bit, but on the other hand, it doesn't help a whole lot, because if you're getting hits over there on the peripheral website, you're kind of diluting the response and the hits to your website, unless they click and go to that website.
But if I want to fill the first page with things that are associated with me, and you're usually one of the first ones on the page, we use you guys. And
Yeah.
it's great, because I want that first 10 to be something associated with me.
Right.
So if I...
Well, do those peripheral sites come up currently? Is that working for you?
It's an idea I have. I don't know if it works.
Well, the main thing about it is they're going to click and go over to that website. It does work, but it's just like having another website, another key. You can't have it on the same server. Google will penalize you if you've got 2 websites on the same server with that same IP address, because they know you're kin to each other, more or less, and they know what's going on. So you need to get you another server with a different IP address. It's like having an IP address is like a phone number. And that the first two, like the 174.52 on the same server, they're all going to be the same. So that tells Google and the search engines right there that these 2 folks are brothers, and they don't count. We know they're going to link to each other. So they don't give you any credit for that. So you put one on them on GoDaddy, or, we host websites, by the way, but you can put one on GoDaddy. You can put one on 1-in-1. You can put one on over here at this other hosting company. If you can have several websites. But what I would do is just do the McDowellsRepair.com/upholstery repair and have that page there. It's going to funnel a lot more hits to that one website, which is going to help you overall more as far as the search engine optimization goes. And it's not bad to have those peripheral websites out there, But you just need to know what you're doing, because you're not going to do anything special if you not on the separate server type situation. Yeah.
I read something, I guess it was maybe changed, but about 4 years ago. If you have multiple pages in a domain, I read that you can link these pages,
Do you have multiple what now?
multiple pages in a domain,
Yeah.
and you can link these pages back and forth.
Well, you can. That's called backlinking, and basically what it is, it's you can, if you've got McDowell's Repair / upholstery repair, and you've got McDowell's Repair / PDR, or whatever you want to call it, or furniture repair. You know, there's a difference between automotive and furniture or residential. So you want not just furniture repair, but you want residential furniture, or even couch repair. I mean, break it down into different pages. Couch repair on part of it, leather recliner repair. That way somebody it's still furniture repair, but it specializes that they can be looking for leather couch repair, and all of a sudden there it is, bingo. And it goes right to that page telling them exactly what you do on the leather couch repair.
At that time, you would distinguish between links from within
Well,
to other domains.
what you're talking about is at the bottom of that page, you can say, visit our leather repair page, and it goes back over to this page. Visit our upholstery repair, and it goes this way. You can put all those links at the bottom of the page or on the right or left, in a bar, just like you see a lot of the times, but those are more or less backlinks that go back into the website to different pages. They can be on leather repair and click and go to windshield repair. Instead of going back to the front page, they would just go from page 1 to 3 or whatever.
I'm in Canada. How do I get an American URL?
You can buy .com anywhere. I mean,
My .com, I gotta buy it from a guy in Hong Kong, but
you don't have to.
he owns it.
Oh, your .com. You're
I'm .ca because I'm in Canada.
yeah, right.
But the .com guy is in Hong Kong and he wants millions of dollars for it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, there's nothing you can do about it if he owns it, and there's not but one.
I understand, but how do I get an American URL in Canada? Just buy one.
You can buy one. I mean, and .com is universal. It's turned in. It used to be it's an American extension, so to speak, but everybody uses .com. I mean, you got people in Germany that has .coms. I can buy a .ca if I want to. Nothing stops me from buying a .ca, and I'm not in Canada. I mean, you can buy. Matter of fact, Mississippi I forgot what country it was, but it was .ms, a little old island out there in the Pacific. They paid, and they didn't have a computer. But the domain name registration people give each country their own little extension, and this was .ms, and some investor in Mississippi paid $7 million for it and gave that to the country and took the whole. So you can get .ms for Mississippi. That's what they want it to stand for. So it's not. You can get .com in Canada. You can get any of those extensions. There's about 300 of them, from .info to .biz to, that's different popularity among them, and then .mobile is getting real big because it was specified a lot of times for your mobile usage. But a .com, that's the whole thing about it. Worldwide, that's one thing. They don't make but one of them. If the .com's gone, it's gone. But you can buy, again, like I said, your domain name Canada. If you're in Toronto, put Toronto on the end of it. You can always find something he ain't got by putting Inc. on it, or INC Incorporated or LLC or something of that nature. Put your city there, or do like us, and I don't know what business you're in, but if you're in the detailing business in Toronto and you can't buy your domain name, why not buy TorontoAutoDetailers.com? That's what started this business. I had a friend one time about 15 years ago that couldn't buy his domain name because his franchisee or had it. He said, well, I can't have it. They got my domain name, and it's the franchisor. They got the .com. I said, well, we just need to do something to tell people what you do. If you can't put your name of the business there, we'll just do the next best thing, and we'll say theshippingstore.com. And that's what we bought, and that's what started Cybercom 15 years ago, was theshippingstore.com. He had a UPS store type, one of those packing stores. But you can find something that the website, it doesn't matter. Don't be so vain that you've got to have the name of your business. That's good, but you don't have to have it. The key is to get people to find that website and then become a customer so they can send off referrals and do repeat business. People, and also in these title tags, I'm gonna get to this. It's the compartmentalize your info is what we've been talking about. That means putting all your information on one page. Page content we've talked about. Using keywords in your file name, that's what we're talking about. It's what putting McDowell's Repair / upholstery repair, if that's what the URL wants, if that's what your page is going to be. Put a keyword, make it that keyword, the main one people are going to be sticking in a search engine. If I'm Joe Smo out there, what am I going to stick in the search engine if I'm looking for this service? Upholstery repair Boise or upholstery repair Dallas. You want to use also think about that, because those cities, if they just stick in upholstery repair, they're going to get everything. From China and Canada, for everything. And then they're going to say, oh my God, I can't get help here, so they're going to stick in the name of that city or a big city around them. And that's what's going to help you get found when they localize that search. Exchanging links, we've talked about that. The tags, the meta tags, you got a title tag. Let me see here, let me find something.
Did the tags have to be separated by a comma, semicolon, or just a space?
Well, if you just, you've got the title tag, and then you've got the description tag, the most important ones. The title tag names the page, and that you want to keep it with 50 characters or less. Anything over Google and them aren't going to use it. Actually, I think it's 42 characters to be specific. Anything over about 40 characters is waste. And a title tag, you just need to say what your main keywords are, whether it's going to be windshield repair or, and you can put, if you've got that many characters, you can put a little dash in between there and put the name of your business. But don't just put the name of your business. Again, if they know the name of your business, they're going to call you. But if you can get windshield repair or whatever the key is in there along with the name of your business, that's fine. In the description tag, you want to have a little sentence that makes sense to them and what this page is about. And it needs to be about 185 characters or 165 characters. And I'm talking letters and spaces. So when you go, and Google's only going, you see those little snippets when you go into Google? And it'll give you about the first 5 or 6 words of that sentence. Well, that's the description they're looking at, and they'll only pick up about the first 50 characters, and they'll take that snippet. That's what's going to make the people click on the website. If you're going, we fix windshields in Dallas, that's going to catch their attention. And that's that little snippet that they see in Google or Yahoo, and they click on it, and that's another thing. You need to make that interest. You need to make that desire to click on your website.
What's that called in your website? You said
The title tag, and then there's description. The description is. Now, you used to have one called keywords. I still use them because they say they don't use keywords anymore, where you can put any kind of keyword in there and you can use about 25, 30 keywords. Right now they're not using them, but I always add them anyway because next month they may say we're going to use them. So, it's. Oh, on keywords, okay. And but keywords aren't relevant anymore. That's what they tell you, but I use them. I put them in there. There's no downside to it. They're not going to penalize you if you got them in there. I just put a comma and no space. Now, let me see here. I was going to pull up something else real quick. That's about the end of this part of the presentation. Anybody got any questions or anything? I hope I helped y'all. I know a lot of this seems real rudimentary and simple, but most people still aren't doing it, and it's just simple stuff. Yeah.
I went to a nice informative piece like you are giving right now a few years back, and I went back and changed my title tag to represent all the key words I'm going to say
Right.
that I wanted and put it in the title. And then I started searching for myself like I do all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Not using my name, just what we do and stuff. It made a world of difference. And that was about the time they started, I guess, using keywords as much in the keyword
Right.
section, but I put them in the title and it worked.
Well, I just separate them by a comma and no space, and that way you save those spaces too, and you can use them. You don't have to put spaces or anything in there.
You said 50 characters or less?
Yep.
Words or less.
I think it's 42 is the official number.
That's only because that's what they read? They only read the first 42, you think? Or?
No, it's just anything after that's kind of wasteful. I mean, they just don't even read them, and anything after that's a waste of time.
Heard it, maybe.
No, it doesn't hurt it. They just ain't gonna see nothing. They just gonna. What you want is something short and subtle and to the point. That's what you want. The title page is to say what this page is about.
That's the blue highlighted line.
The blue highlighted, it says title on both sides. And and that's what also comes up here. It comes up in the bottom of your computer, and it tells you what that is. It tells you windshield repair in Dallas or whatever the case may be, but it tells the title tag at the bottom, so it tells people exactly what that page is.
Sometimes you'll hover over the site and it will, you'll hover your mouse over it and it'll give you a description. I think it's the title.
Yeah, that's it. That's the same thing. Okay, we're going to get into, matter of fact, this is interesting. I don't know which one this is. I picked this. Craig was showing this to me. This is July 3, 2010, talking about social media and Facebook. This is in 210. More than 25 billion pieces of content, but it talks about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. This was 2 years ago, and it talks about different stats of everything, 25 billion, and it talks about the, where was something? I was looking at a figure a while ago. But then we pick up the same article. That's here. And it shows the explosion. Okay? Well, it's the one before it. Well, anyway. Point being is, that in the next seminar we'll get into more of this, but we're going to talk about Twitter and how to set that up and how to complement your website with Twitter and your face. And let me tell you something, guys. 15 years ago, people were wondering whether a website would help their business or not. And in most cases, you've got to admit that it does. Okay? This thing's not a trend. I think the internet and websites are here to stay. So, but the main part of it also is the social stuff. You know, I don't twit and I don't tweet. Well, you need to start. Okay? It's become a heck of a search engine. You can go to Twitter and stick in anything you want, and you find exactly what you're looking for. It beats the heck out of Google and Bing and Yahoo as far as being a search engine, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the next seminar, next hour. And Facebook is the same way. And there's different ways that you can incorporate your Twitter account with your Facebook account. And how many in here have Facebook accounts? See, it's easier to have a Facebook account. Easy entry level. Everybody knows how to do it. It's free, but there are ways that you can capitalize and brand your business a lot better than you are probably with Facebook. You can put your Twitter account on your Facebook. You can tweet from your Facebook account, and then it goes out to your Twitter. You can use it on your blog and tweet over here and do the Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and it gets confusing. It's hard to get your head around a lot of times, but it pays off.
Twitter talking about going public, is that gonna just make things crazy?
No, I don't think it's not going to change anything. No more than Facebook going public changed anything, really. I mean, they're all going to make changes. They're all going to make changes. They're all looking for ways to improve, or they're going to try something that may not work. Just like, what was it, Stamagram or whatever it was? Huh? Instagram. It's one of those, it's a program where you took pictures and sent them up on Twitter, and they started talking about taking those pictures that you had sent and just eminent domain, saying they're ours and selling them. And that's, you heard the public with an outroar. All these social platforms are going to try new stuff, and they're going to be changing all the time, and you just got to roll with the punches. Yeah?
What's this article? I mean, what was the title of it?
Tell you what,
It's on Search Engine Land. If you'll go to searchengineland.com, there was a good article on the 15th, but what was it?
also what we're doing is we're going to have this presentation up on our blog site, zebrapower.com. We'll also put these links up there along with the videos, so you can go take a look at it and refresh yourself if you want.
Now here's the 2012 version. Some of these numbers a while ago, in July 2010, I wrote a post about blah, blah, blah. Now look at this. These are some of these facts about social media that they're talking about. 750 tweets per second right now. The original Twitter beta was launched, he was drinking Evan Williams, I guess. But if Twitter was a country, it'd be the 12th largest in the world. It talks about up here, 85% of women are annoyed by their friends. So, and I'm not sure what that has to do with it, that he's being funny. But this damn thing ain't working. Anyway, the average Facebook user has 130 friends, and we're going to talk a little bit about that too. We've got a program that we're talking about where you can share the friends on Facebook and go from one Facebook to the other. And again, it's going to be, you know, it's kind of hard for me to get my head. We've been doing this for 13 years, and we're finally getting into the Facebook thing. I finally figured out that it might help. I do know Twitter helps, okay? And it took me a year or two to get my head around Twitter and how it could help a business. All I saw on Twitter is people talking about the snow and how the poop was green and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't interested in that. But if you know what if you know, we've got 400 Twitter accounts now. We're localized. We got Boise area news as a Twitter account. So when I tweet something on my Boise customers, we use our directory. Somebody can be on WeRentPonies.com and see upholstery repair in Boise. They click on that tweet and go straight to his website, his phone number. And they're not even thinking about upholstery repair. They're thinking about renting a pony for their kid's birthday. The key is they're in Boise. If they're in Boise looking for that service, the Twitter box is on the website, on that page over here. It's kind of like having a billboard on the highway. It ain't no downside. They see it. It's like seeing a casino billboard on the highway. You may be going to a casino and it may change your decision or alter it in some way, but other than that, there's no downside. You don't stop and throw eggs at that billboard. But anyway, there's some other things that we're going to talk about that with the social media stuff and integrating that.